Hello, I'm Sandra Jones-Keller, and I'm an intuitive pregnancy coach and spiritual energy healer. And I'm here today with Dr. Darnita Henry. Hello.
Hi.
I teach pregnant moms, new moms, and want to be moms how to develop intuitive two-way communication with their unborn and newborn babies. And I help you to unblock fears and beliefs that have been maybe holding you back in life. And I do business coaching as well as new age kid parenting coaching. So it's kind of all wrapped in one, but it's really all about the energy work and the intuitive spiritual work. So today we are going to talk about using energy work for your pregnancy journey. So Darnita, we've been working together for what, 6, 7, 8 years? Actually a while.
Yeah, at least 7, because when I met you, Mason was a baby, like a small baby I was carrying him. He was very small, and he is almost 9. He'll be 9 in March.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
So just tell, you have 3 kids and you are pregnant with your 4th. So just say a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm a chiropractor here in Atlanta, Georgia. I enjoy working with pregnant moms. I love everything pregnancy, really, and mom and baby related. And so, yeah, I have 4 children. Well, this is baby number 4. But I have 2 girls and a little boy. And so, yeah, we started working together after the little boy, and you actually told me that I was pregnant with the last little girl before I
Mariah
knew about
is how old now? Mariah's how old now?
Mariah is 4 and she'll be 5 in April.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they're
Yeah.
growing so fast. So today we are going to just talk about your pregnancy journey and using energy work during your pregnancy journey. So specifically, you told me something that I didn't know, and it was about back pain. So we had a session. We talk regularly, but we had a session, and during the session, I said that, oh, wow, there's a lot of energy in your back. So I cleared out the energy, but you never said anything about back pain or anything. So I cleared out the energy, and then this last session, what did you tell me about your back?
I told you that that was amazing because I did not often when we speak, I often don't tell you anything. You say, do you want to ask me anything? Do you want to just see what comes up? How do you want to do it? And I usually say, I just want to see what comes up. That's usually how I go with it. And somewhere along in there, you told me you have a lot of energy. It's in there, it's in your back, and we just need to move that out. We need to move that out. And I didn't say anything at the time about the fact that like my back had been hurting, and I kind of assumed that it was the same sciatic pain that I had with Mariah at a certain point in the pregnancy with her, about a month or 2 before she was born. I started having this right-sided hip pain, lower back pain. So I kind of just said, I guess maybe that's about to come back. Don't really want it to come back because I remember it, but thinking that that might be what it was. But you said no. I mean, you didn't say no. I didn't tell you any of that. You just said you have some energy in your back. We need to move that out. Let's move that out. So you move that out, and immediately, like the next day or two, I just am walking around thinking, I don't feel that in my back anymore. And it probably was about 3 or 4 weeks. No, it was about 2 weeks later, I guess, when we spoke again. And I told you I haven't had any back pain, and I just realized that I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then the next time that I felt anything creeping up like that, I started doing some of the exercises that we normally do to say, hey, we need to move that out. That if that's energy, let's move that energy out so that, because I don't want to feel the back pain, obviously.
And so I was like, oh, that's cool. Thank you for sharing, because when I'm looking at energy or feeling energy, like it feels heavy or it feels thick or it feels dense or it feels like there's a block. And so I just start moving the energy out. So I love the fact that by moving that energy out, you then had no more back pain.
Yeah.
And so I want to share this with women, because as we start relating to like our pains and discomfort as energy versus like something that's, there and chronic, then we can move it out, like we did with Darnita. So that's very cool. And then, so you've had an interesting pregnancy. One, we're in the middle of a pandemic. So
Right.
that's a lot of stress.
Mm-hmm.
Two, your mother passed away unexpectedly.
Right.
So just talk about that for, a minute, and then talk about how the energy work has helped you to move with that and through that.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, my mom was sort of the one this time who kind of told me I was pregnant this time. I wasn't giving it any credibility. I just kept telling her the thing I have been saying for the last few years, which is I never completely lost all of the little pudge from the last baby, right? So whatever you see there, that's what that is, whatever. And she said, "Oh, I think you should probably take a test because it looks like it's a baby in there." So I did take the test. She was right, and I was pregnant. And as you said, maybe it was several weeks later, she unexpectedly passed. And I remember going over to the house while the paramedics were there because I had called her that morning. And my brother picked up her telephone, which never happens. He picked up her phone and he was in a panic. And he told me that the paramedics were there and that mom was just not doing good. And he didn't know what to do. He was scared and everything. And so I just told him, fine, I'm on my way. So I went over there. And as soon as I saw her, to me, for some reason, I had a feeling. I already kind of knew that either she was slipping away or she may have wanted to slip away or something like that. I don't know. I can't really describe that. But I remember just starting to talk to her in my mind, just saying, I'm not going to say anything out loud because people probably think I'm crazy. But, I'm just going to communicate with her. And I remember looking directly at her and saying, it's okay. It's okay. Whatever you want to do, it's fine. Don't feel like you got to stay here for us, because she's that kind of mom that if she thinks she can do something for you, she's about doing that for you and being there for you as much as she can possibly be. So I kept saying, I'm fine. We're all fine. So whatever you want to do, you take whatever path, whatever your next step is, feel free to do that. I don't want to, hold you here. And I can't even describe why I was feeling that way, but I really feel like because we've been doing so much work over the past few years, that had already had me in a place where I could recognize more energetically that I could speak to her and that we could make an agreement or decide, that she could make the best decision for herself, that she didn't have to feel obligated to us here if it was time for her to elevate and go further, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes total sense. And, I really want to just acknowledge you for, the strength and courage that you have been walking through this pregnancy with, because there's a lot going on. And energetically, though, you've been like using your tools,
Mm-hmm.
and staying grounded. You've been staying balanced. And even inside of the upset and the grief that comes up, there's what I've noticed in you, there's still a level of certainty, and there's still a level of connectedness and a level of peace inside of grief, which sounds a little strange.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how would you describe it? Peace inside of grief? I mean,
I believe so, because we were so close my entire life. I was very close with my mom. I used to kind of dread that day. I mean, I think we all kind of do. You just kind of dread, like, okay, someday, this is kind of the natural progression of life, but you're never really prepared for it. And I just remember saying, oh my gosh, I know me, and I know in what place I was in, say 5 or 10 years ago. And I know how this would have completely rocked my world, and I would have just been a whole total mess then. But I felt like when it all kind of happened, I kept thinking, I'm so glad that I've talked to Sandra for the past, because we've worked to this. You didn't say this is going to happen. You never said anything like that. Like, hey, this is what's probably going to happen. It wasn't like that. It was just getting myself together and being grounded in myself enough to realize that, when things start happening, that I can still sit inside of myself and be grounded. And these things can happen, they will happen, they should happen all around me, but I don't have to come out of myself to be a part of them.
Yeah, and so I think that's a very powerful lesson for people, because there's an expectation if death happens or something like that, then the whole world is going to fall apart. And so you're not saying that you didn't feel it and that you're not grieving. It's not that at all. But
Right.
there's a level of certainty and a connection with your mother, because you know that she's a spiritual being. And so you
Yeah.
know that she's always with you, and that she's actually available to you
Yeah.
whenever you want. And so it's just a different way of walking,
And it's a
and,
different way of communicating.
and
But
different
I
way of,
can hear her. I can clearly hear her when I start to get sad or something like that. We go back and forth a little bit, because she says to me, Darnita, I really don't like it when you cry. That just breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart to see you upset. Mama doesn't like that. I know that. And then I have to say to her, but I need this. I need to be able to cry. I'll be okay in a little while, but I have to get this out right now. And so we go back and forth with that a little bit. She understands, but we do go back and forth with that a little bit. And I know she's here. I know that I almost feel sometimes that she's here more now. That may sound a little funny, but I feel like she's sometimes even more with me now, that she's not physically here, because when she's physically here, she really was only able to be where she was physically.
exactly. No, I
Yeah.
get it. That's how I feel about my father.
Yeah.
My dad passed away almost 6 years ago. So I get exactly what you're talking about. It's like now I have unlimited access.
Right.
It's just like, it's tapping in. It's like saying hello. It's,
Hmm.
saying, how's mom doing? Checking in on my mom, who's still here. So yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Because, we change forms. We were spiritual beings having a physical experience. And so just because the physical part of us is no longer here, the spirit lives on and on.
Right.
And so, yeah, so I totally get that. And every time we do a session, we check in on the baby,
Hmm.
and, just to make sure. And so how has the pregnancy been going for you?
The pregnancy's been going pretty well. I do feel a little bit more tired with this pregnancy than some of the others. But all in all, it's been pretty smooth. Of course, that first 3 months is that general nausea and not really feeling all that, kind of feeling a little icky. But now it's pretty fine. I guess I would say it's pretty much okay. I just feel like I'm carrying a lot of weight, like physically, like just uh so I get out of breath a little bit more easier than before. But yeah, communicate with the baby, talk to the baby. The baby has been a little bit more vocal lately in my mind than when we were communicating before. As far as just kind of just, I'm hanging out, mommy. I'm just hanging out. I'm in here. I'll see you when I see you. It's great in here. And
No, they
definitely
just
tell you when it's hungry.
just are good, right? It's
Yeah.
like I remember when I was pregnant, I would check in on my daughter, and it's like, Mom, I'm good. Take care of yourself.
Right.
Take care. Like I'm swimming in here. I'm
Hmm.
sleeping.
Hmm.
Take care of yourself. And once you have that connection and awareness that your baby's fine, then you just are grounded, and there's a certain level of confidence and security that happens, because it's
Right.
like, okay, the baby's fine. So now let me just do X, Y, and Z to make
Hmm.
sure that I'm handling myself.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to say before we close up?
I don't think so. I think that was everything. But of course, if people want to leave comments or anything like that, or reach out, then I'm sure you certainly available. I'm available. Whatever.
And why don't you go ahead and give your contact information, your website, if you have people locally that would like to get in contact with you?
Okay, so I actually have two websites, but you can go to either one of them. The first one is going to be alignwellnesscenter.com, ALIGN WELLNESSCENTER.com, which is just kind of generalized and more, you know, kind of for everybody, more general. Then I have Dr. Mom Baby, which is DrMomBaby.com, which is really more about moms and babies and bellies and things like that. So feel free to reach out, or on Instagram, we're Line Wellness Center on Instagram, and also Dr. Mom Baby on Instagram.
Well, thank you so much, Donita, for just sharing and for giving the audience a new perspective. Once again, my name is Sandra Jones-Keller. You can visit my website, sandrajoneskeller.com, and lots of videos on my YouTube channel, Sandra Jones-Keller. So until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.